All right, now you can say hi.
Hi,
Can you tell them what your name is?
my name is Paul.
Yeah, how old are you?
3.
Good job. You gonna go play with Dad for a minute? Okay. Hello, everybody. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes and until some more people join us. So if you want to say hi and tell me where you're from, I enjoy seeing that. I noticed yesterday that I had a couple people from New Zealand. That's really awesome to me. I want to go down there and do the Lord of the Rings tour because we're big Lord of the Rings fans. So I think that would be a lot of fun. But I think we need a lot more time, and I think it's I don't know, not something I'll probably be able to take all my kids to. But hi Tammy, Kathy, hi from Michigan. Awesome. I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks so much for joining me. I moved places in my kitchen, so hopefully there's not quite as much glare from the windows. But Chicago, awesome. Awesome. So this is day 2 of the challenge. I am thrilled that you guys are on this challenge with me. This is the first time I've ever done a quick 5-day challenge like this. And it's been a lot of fun so far, so I hope you will continue. And if you're just here for the first time and you want to sign up, you can do that on the video description on Facebook, or if you're on Instagram, you can just go to my website and there'll be a little pop-up that comes up with the information on there, and you can sign up there. So yesterday, I guess I missed some questions about what was behind me, and I'm in a different spot in the kitchen right now, but I'll just tell you what I have back here in my jars. So I have cocoa powder, chocolate chips, dried hot peppers that I got from the farmer's market, and so they're a mixture of like cayenne and jalapeno and I don't know, different hot peppers, and they're all chopped up so they're ready to put into chili, and they make it just a little bit spicy. Then I have dried elderberries here to make elderberry syrup, and I have different gelatins because I'm a real foodie, and that's what I do. I have some yellow split peas, popcorn, and garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and I got those. I haven't done anything with them yet. My sister-in-law is from Ethiopia, and she toasts them, and they just snack on them, and they're delicious. So that's what I wanted to do, and I just haven't put out the effort to do that yet. But so that's what I have over here. Anyway, welcome to day 2 of the challenge, and I'm really excited you guys are here with me. And if you are just joining me, you can sign up for the challenge in the description on Facebook, or go to my website, and there'll be a little pop-up that shows up giving you information. And if you are signing up late, don't worry about it, because at the end of the week, I'm going to send out a recap page with all the tasks and all the videos, and you can catch up on all that there. So if you have an accountability partner, go ahead and tag them now so they don't miss this video, and tag anybody else you need. And if you have anybody that could benefit from this or that would enjoy it, please feel free to share. Because that's wonderful. The more the better, and the more you share, the more successful you are as well. Because it's just so much more motivating when we have people surrounding us, joining us in the task, and encouraging each other. So today I want to talk to you about the things that you say to yourself the things that nobody else knows about, the negative self-talk, which just reinforces negative habits and negative behavior. So it can come from past critical relationships. If you've had anybody that's been really critical in your life, and sometimes we can hear their voice in our head saying, you're not good enough, you can't do this, you don't do anything right, anything of that sort. And sometimes it's just from ourselves on just, we've tried to think about why we aren't motivated to do things, and so we think, oh well, cleaning doesn't come naturally from me, I'm just a messy person, I'm too tired, I don't have enough energy for everything, whatever it is that we tell ourselves. And we've gotten used to saying that to ourselves, so we stop wondering why we're not motivated, and we just start to believe that lie that we have come up with. And it's not that we just believe it, but we also just continue to say it to ourselves. So if your best friend was discouraged and you heard her saying these type of things to herself, would you interrupt her? Would you stop her and say, you need to stop, that's not true, and you can do anything that you set your mind to, you deserve a clean house, you have the ability to do it. So of course we would be encouraging to our best friend. So that is what I want you to do for yourself. I want you to be your own best friend and encourage yourself, and not allow any of that negative self-talk. So that's what we're going to look at today, and all those things that you say in your mind that that are their lies that you believe, they aren't truth, they are holding you back. So imagine if your life is just a big hot air balloon, and every single one of these lies that you tell yourself is a tether that's holding you to the ground. So you have to address every single one of these. As you walk around the balloon, you have to address every single one of the tethers and rip them out in order for your balloon to lift off the ground and fly away. So think about that. We have to deal with these things that we're saying because they are holding you back. Everything that you believe about yourself becomes your reality. Whatever you focus on in life, that tends to come about. So we know this because we watch rich people, people that make money and build huge businesses, and they're told to do it in business books too. Well, if you want to make $1 million or billions of dollars, whatever it is, you have to normalize that in your mind and believe that it's a possibility. Before it even is a possibility, you have to believe it. The athletes that push themselves and in training just every day, they focus on the goal. Every decision they make takes into account whether it's going to benefit them or not. What they eat, how they sleep, everything that they do revolves around that. That's their focus. Creative people that you admire, that just do all kinds of things all the time, it's in their mind first. They're thinking about it all the time. And if you're a Christian, this is so much in the Bible. It talks about keep your focus on Christ, and then everything will follow along, because we can't just determine, I'm going to be a better Christian. No, it's you're focusing on Him, and so things follow along with that because of where you're focused. So we have these thoughts in our mind, and they are basically a self-fulfilling prophecy. So every change you make has to start in your mind and how you think about it. Your task today is to get out a piece of paper and write down all those negative things that you tend to tell yourself on a regular basis, and we can talk about them here in a bit. I'll look at the comments if you have any questions on how to rephrase them, but just for now, just get out a piece of paper and just start listing them off and writing them down. And Okay, after you write them down, we're going to work on rewriting them into positive truths. So that's what I will definitely help you with. Okay, if something is real, is holding you back, not a lie, but an absolute truth, like severe illness, how to address that. I don't like calling something a lie when it isn't. Okay, I will talk about that at the end. I do have a note because there are a lot of people that deal with chronic illnesses, and yeah, you have to address it differently. So I will talk about that in the end, and if I forget, just remind me there when we're done. All right. Okay, so the point of this is to shift your mindset. So just imagine yourself going one direction, and this path is all filled with clutter. It's just, this is the way it is, and I'm just going down this way, living my life. And so this is shifting us. When we change our thought process, we are shifting our focus, and we are going another direction. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be immediate, but this is the beginning. And so then once that you're shifted in your mind, then you can go on the next road and a different path, and your home will change and your life will change. So let's see. I need to bullet point my thoughts here. How do we talk to other people? When we're talking to our children or our spouse or our friends, you know that generally, like, I mean, we're not perfect, but generally we try to be very supportive in that, and we encourage them when they're doing good things and making good changes. So you need to also be your best cheerleader and encourage yourself in all your choices. And don't depend on other people for that encouragement, because we're human. We're going to let you down. Everybody's going to let you down, and it's wonderful. If it happens, it's wonderful. Consider it just a complete bonus. But don't count on that to make the change, because the change starts with you, and it starts in your mind. And people will disappoint. I will disappoint you. I will miss messages. I will miss emails. Like if you came over to my house right now, you'd be disappointed that there's glasses on the counter, and there's a pile of shoes by the door that I haven't picked up yet, and there's a pile there's a pile of clothes from my 3-year-old, and I went through his dresser 2 weeks ago, and it's still sitting in my room because I haven't bagged it up to take it over to my friend's house yet. So I am not perfect either, and people will forget. So, spouses will forget to notice when you've done the dishes or when the counters are clean. Children will whine about tasks that you're having them do, and friends are going to forget that you've decided to make this change, and they're going to forget to ask about it, or even forget that you mentioned it in the first place, and it's okay. That's just not their focus. It's your focus. And so we just take whatever benefit you can, whatever encouragement you can as a bonus, and just focus on yourself. So you're going to do this because it's important to you, and you need it, and you deserve it, and you value yourself enough to make this happen. So keep that in your mind. While I'm on that topic, you can only control yourself. So I do have people who write, well, what about my spouse? I can't do it because my spouse isn't on board, or my children aren't on board, and everybody else in the house is messy. And I get that. It's true, they are. And the thing is, it's not important to them. And that's okay. You are shifting your mindset, so you can't force them to change and shift their mindset. And this is not an out. I'm not saying that, the kids shouldn't be involved and do chores or help you out with things. But just don't expect them to view it as important, and don't resent them when they don't view it as important. And it might come back on you. My husband it was 5 years before he jumped on board with decluttering and getting rid of some of his stuff, and the rest of it I I did it myself. I was the one that did the dishes regularly. I did the laundry regularly. I sorted all the different items that we had to sort, and he just didn't care. And he's a very nice person. He's a wonderful man. It just wasn't a big deal to him. Like, it just did not bother him. The state of the house did not bother him. It bothered me. So I had to change it for me, and I'm the one that's happier because of it. And now he sees that. So if I'm in a bad mood, he'll start cleaning the house because it's very, very evident. But it was about 5 years before he jumped on board. And the kids, you know, I have teenagers, and there has been points where they've put it back on me. Like, we've gotten into a fight, and they're like, okay, so I didn't allow them to do something, and I was like, well, you just forced this minimalism down our throat. And it was just ammo that they were using because they were trying to get me to change my mind. And so don't take things like that personally. It is what it is. And now that he's older, he does not feel that way, and he doesn't hold it against me. So, and I didn't force it down his throat either. It was said in anger, and it's okay. But we have to make these changes, and you have to do it for yourself, and typically by yourself. And you can't expect anyone else to change what they notice in the home or their habits. It's a long process, and kids are kids. When we started leaving getting a shoe rack and having it by the front door, my older boys were about 10, and it was, I think I spent the next 10 years just telling them every day, okay, put your shoes on the shoe rack, pick your shoes up, put them away, and or doing it myself, and that it is what it is. So it's okay. What's important to you is something that you need to take care of, and just don't resent them because now it's a priority to you, and they continue to approach it in the same way that they always have. So I'll get off my soapbox, and if you could tell me in the comments just what your main lies are that you struggle with, and we'll talk about them. And we'll work. If you need help turning them into a positive statement, I'm happy to do that while I'm here with you. So as you rewrite those truths, if you write down, it's important to make the truths completely positive. So we would write it down like this, okay? So you have, I'm just too tired. And then we would cross it out, because that feels good, and say, I have enough energy to do what I need to do. So you're focusing on the positive aspect to it. You want to take any negative words out. So the tendency might be to say, I want a clutter-free home. But clutter in itself is a negative word, so you want to say things like, I want a beautiful, calm home, or positive words that you focus on. So, laziness. So you have to decide in your mind that you are not going to be lazy anymore. And that is a choice, and you can change that. And I believe in you, Marissa. You can do it. Okay, if I get things the way I want them organized, I'm afraid I won't be able to continually keep it up. So Kim, that's part of the benefit of minimalism, is you get down to such a small amount of possessions that it's easy to keep it up. Because before you embrace minimalism, I think about my own home, and there was so much stuff. No, there's no way I could keep on top of it. It's everywhere, and you can't keep all that organized. But you get rid of, half of it, 3/4 of it, whatever. You only have what you need. Then it's very, very easily to stay organized, and it's easy to clean. Think about your kitchen counters. If you have things on your counters I had things on my counters forever. And to think about deep cleaning the kitchen, like, okay, well, in my mind, I would think, well, then I have to take all that off the counters and like find out what to do and sort the papers, and like it would be a horribly long list. And then after that's done, then I could wipe the counters off. But now there's nothing on the counters. So if I think about I need to clean the kitchen and wipe the counters off, it's not a big deal. I just wipe the counters off. So it's very easy to maintain a minimal home. Let's see. If I clean it up, the family will just mess it up again. They probably will, but this is something you do for yourself. And so I think I wrote down like how did I answer that, because that is a very common one. You would say to yourself, I will clean the house because it is important to me and it makes me feel good to have a clean house. Our house gets clean on Saturdays, and that's my one day. I just look forward to Saturdays when the house is clean. And my husband made a comment of like, well, yeah, I was clean for 5 minutes, and it was, but we have a lot of people in the house. But it's very pleasant on Saturday afternoon. So I do it, and I do it in a way that like I reset the house. So my evening routine, the kitchen's clean, and I pick up the living room, and that's typically around bedtime. So the kids go to bed, and then I sit down and relax, and the house is pretty much clean. Like it's not going to be perfect. There's a lot of people, but it's nice. Like it's relaxing, and my mind's not continually thinking of all the stuff that needs to be done. Okay, I'll never be able to get my home decluttered. I am overwhelmed. So you will be able to. So you have to rephrase that, write it down, and just say, I am capable, and I am capable of having a clean home. And thinking of being overwhelmed, I did get a couple questions about that. And we're overwhelmed because we take on too much. We think about everything. So when we think about decluttering the house, it's like, okay, in our mind we think about, well, the top of the piano, the floor, the piles on the kitchen counter, the miscellaneous stuff on top of the refrigerator, the, VCR stuff that's still in the TV cabinet that we never use because it's disconnected, the photos up in the attic, all the junk out in the garage. We think through all those things, and we're like, too much. So chunk it down, narrow your thoughts, and just focus on the kitchen at first. That's and then break it down even farther, where you're just going to do one thing today. And as far as like this goes with chronic illness as well, because you want to do things that it's possible for you. So we have this massive long to-do list, and you can't complete it all. So you start out in the morning and you write it all down, and it seems completely impossible. So instead, just scrap that one and write down what you're capable of doing today. So if you're overwhelmed or you're not feeling good, you can do the dishes today. You might be able to clean off one counter today. Keep it small. Keep it like that's the accomplishment, and then you can feel good about it. And every step is still a step forward. Does that make sense? Does that help? Because when we are overwhelmed, typically it's because our focus is everywhere around us. And so it's like putting blinders on, and like, I'm only going to focus on this right here. And if it helps, set a timer. I'm only going to do this for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to walk away from it, and I can do more tomorrow. And that's okay. We tend to set too high of expectations for ourselves. So tone it down into something that is possible, and that will be your victory, and that will make you feel good. I was watching a video this last week. I think someone shared it in the yearly challenge decluttering group, where we get rid of 2017 things in 2017 this year, and it was a military man giving a speech and talking about how important it is to make your bed in the morning, because you get up and you make your bed and you feel good about it and you feel accomplished, and that sets the tone for the rest of the day. And that's what I want you to do if you're overwhelmed. You just focus on one small thing and feel accomplished when you get that done. And then tomorrow it will be one more thing, and you will be moving forward. So it feels like a hamster wheel, and if I'm off the ball for a day or two, everything gets overwhelmingly messy. It feels like I can never take a day off from cleaning. Yeah, it does feel like that. How old are your kids? I don't remember. I feel like that. So minimalism for me has decreased that, in the sense that I only have a 15-year-old. Put that kid to work. It does happen. So you think about it. If you have one dish for each person, and you get done with a meal, it's much easier to just wash that dish and put it in the drying rack or put it away than it is to wait for the whole day and wash the dishes at the end of the day. That takes much more effort. So that's what minimalism has done for me, in that I used to wash the dishes about every 3 days, and I'll probably talk about this again tomorrow, but that was my habit. So when I just took it down to just enough dishes for one day, then I would wash the dishes in the morning and in the evening, because that's what I had to do in order to have dishes. So I wasn't washing dishes before we were eating a meal, and that controlled that chaos for me. So it was kind of I don't even know what to call it, but it was not necessarily changing my habit, but changing the atmosphere. So my habit had to change. It forced me to do that. Okay, if I get rid of everything, I can't afford to replace it. I know this is a lie, but I think about it anyway. This is a big one. This is a big thing. Like, well, I'll keep it just in case. And I have my video. Where did my video go? Oh, okay, there it is. I lost my video for a second. And so you need to think to yourself, I have enough money to buy the things that I need to. So as you think through it, like, it's a feeling like we don't have enough money for things, and you think through, like, okay, well, have I had enough money to pay my bills? Do I have enough money to pay my rent or my mortgage? Do I have enough money to pay for my electricity? Do I have enough money to buy clothes when I need it? Do I have enough money to go and buy coffee when I want one? Like, think through all those things, and if that's the case, then you have enough money to buy things when you need to replace them. And usually those things that we hang on to are very inexpensive things. They're like extra coffee cups or extra utensils, or they don't cost very much to replace. So think through that as well. You're at IKEA too. That's awesome. Well, just buy the bench for the entryway. No, don't get sucked into all the other cool stuff. I love IKEA. It's good. It's not in Montana, because I've had a lot of fun at IKEA when I've gone to different cities. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Let me look through the comments here really quick and see if I missed any that you need help for. Meal planning is the beginning of the chaos. With plans in place, there is less stress and more time and energy to focus on my family, but 3 hungry toddlers and a husband makes for stress. My pantry cupboards represent how I want to eat and how bad our habits have been growing up. I want clear counters. It brings me peace. Awesome. It does. So it's just taking that one small step at first. And yes, when you have when you have clear counters, then it makes cooking in the kitchen much more pleasant and much more doable. And menu planning, I ended up buying someone's menu plan because I would just get I don't know. It's a lot to plan out, so I ended up doing that for myself, and I really enjoy that. Okay, so I'll just go over a couple of the typical ones, and I put them in the email today, but I just wanted to talk them over here. Whatever. So the common ones are, I don't have time. So you would change that to, I have time to do the things that are important to me. Or, I don't have energy. So you would change that to, I do have enough energy to do what I need to do. Why bother cleaning when the kids will mess it up again? And I clean because I enjoy a clean home. And I enjoy a nice home. Whatever that visual word is, calm, peaceful, clean, happy, content, joyful, clear, whatever it is, that's what you need to put in there, and that's what you need to focus on. The dishes and laundry will just come back again. What's the point? And so I love having the dishes and laundry clean and done, because it feels wonderful when they're done. I hate chores. You change that to, I love having a clean and welcoming home. I'll just wait until the rest of the family chips in. So change that to, I will do things now because I love myself and it's important to me. And I think Angela had a great comment up here that was, let's see if I can find it. Never mind. No one in the house helps me. That's true. That helps you get things done and helps you recoup. I'm the only one that cares. You would change that, just cross it out and say, I will clean because I know it will help me be a nicer, happier, more joyful person. Or cleaning is such a waste of time. I will clean because I know it will. I just said that. I'm repeating myself. Okay, that's it. I got them all. So let's see. I talk about overwhelm and narrowing your focus and not to put too much on your list. Please remember that. And if you guys have any questions, you can just pop them in really quick. If not, that will be it. If you are catching this challenge for the first time, you can sign up for the challenge in the video description on Facebook. Or if you're on Instagram, you can just go to nourishingminimalism.com and there will be a little pop-up that comes up. And I want to encourage you to join me on Saturday. I will be hosting a webinar and going over things and everything that I'm going to miss probably this week because there's just so much information I want to share with you. And if you haven't signed up for the challenge and you're worried about jumping in on day 2, don't worry about it. On Friday, I will send out a recap page with links to all the videos and all the tasks outlined so you can catch up on it then. And thank you guys so much for coming and participating. I'm really excited, and don't forget to tag your accountability buddy and see what they're up to today and discuss your lies and truths with them and help each other rewrite them so that they are very positive and affirming. So thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.